Bill the whiskey dick, he's got a knack. On his channel, the whiskey knowledge never lacks. Pouring gold in the glass, letting it breathe. His reviews hit hard, makes us all believe. Sits in his room with bottles lined up tall. Camera rolling, capturing it all. Swirling amber like liquid fire. With each sip takes us higher and higher. Whiskey Bill tells no lies. In his glasses, truth lies. From the peat to the rye, he's the reason we comply. Smoky flavor burning like it's real. Every word he says, we feel. Earning trust, sip by sip. In Whiskey Bill, we're equipped. Honing notes with the wizard's flair. Tasting dreams with a knowing stare. No fancy talk or polished lines, just raw truth and tangled vines. Whiskey Bill tells no lies. In his glasses, truth lies. From the peat to the rye, he's the reason we comply. Smoky flavor burning like it's real. Every walk is real and all is real. Every word he says, we feel. Word he says, we feel. Earning trust, sip by sip. In Whiskey Bill, we're equipped. Honing notes with the wizard's flair. Tasting dreams with the knowing stare. No fancy talk or polished lines, just raw truth and tangled vines. Whiskey Bill tells no lies. In his glasses, truth lies. From the peat to the rye, he's the reason we comply. Reason we comply. The reason we comply.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Whiskey Dictionary. Tonight we are going to be doing a probably not an original concept, although something I just kind of came up with. I'm calling it the Whiskey Glass Challenge. Mystery Glass Challenge, sorry. Mystery Glass Challenge, where the idea is that I don't know which one of these has what in it. But I did pick out 6 bottles, so I have no idea which one's which. It's basically randomized. The idea is I wanted to fiddle around with sherry finishes, but I also wanted to kind of really expand that. And I think you'll see what I'm getting at. So first off, let me just say hi. There's actually quite a few of you guys in the chat. I love that. It's nice to see you all here. I know that there's a couple that normally can't make it, like Steve and Spencer. So it's nice to see you guys. Alex, nice to see you as well. And for those of you that are wondering, yes, so you probably know I have a second YouTube channel called Dungeons and Drams, and I essentially teach people how to utilize AI to help with their dungeon running their D&D games. But one of the things I found was this AI tool that allows you to create music. And so I fiddled with it, and it took a little bit of time. But I have been making different songs for the intro and outro the last few weeks. And this week I have the same intro and outro as I had a couple of weeks ago because I just really like it. Like that song you just heard, I swear it's in my head like all day. It's just cool. Like Whiskey Bill. I love it. All right. So here's what we're going to do today. As I mentioned, there's 6 different whiskeys. I don't know what they are, but I'm about to show you what is potentially in each one of these classes. And I said, to my wife, I said, "Hey, wife, I would like you to take this little sheet of paper and write down the color." So as you can see, and it doesn't matter that I can see the color. When I actually take a sip, you'll be able to see it better, but that's a dark green right there. She matched up which bottle is with which color. You've seen me do this before on the channel. So here's what we have. Again, aiming for sherry. So the only one that isn't sherry, and I'll just start off with this, is my single barrel version of the Starward. And the reason I did this is because it is red wine finish, and it just kind of, I thought it might be interesting to put a different red wine finish against sherry, just because sherry does tend to taste, to me, a lot like a red wine. It's like berry forward, you know, usually. So I put that in there just more to throw myself a curveball. And speaking of curveballs, a couple of these are definitely going to be such. But let's kind of go back here. So let's go to the Aberlour Abuna. So Abuna is, it means the original. The idea is that they named this whiskey after one of the original creators. And it is a very high ABV. Well, very high is subjective. But 61.2% is pretty high. So it's a Speyside single malt. It is matured in Spanish Oloroso sherry butts. So that one will be high ABV and sherry finished. Then we have the Glenallachie, which, if I remember correctly, this one is both PX and Oloroso as well as ex-bourbon barrels. I'm like 90% sure that that's correct. I did take some notes here, so let's just double check this. Yes, so Oloroso, oh, it's virgin oak. I knew it was like something different about the regular oak. So it's virgin oak, Oloroso, and Pedro Jimenez. So I thought that would be cool because it's going to be kind of all three that, or both types of sherry that you would typically have. I know there's more. Actually, the video that I'm going to be doing on this Friday is going to be all about finishing whiskeys. So we're going to be talking sherry, we're going to be talking rum, we're going to be talking Chardonnay even. We're going to be talking about many, many different things. Okay. So, by the way, just while I'm going over this and kind of doing this, you can be kind of searching your own shelves. I would encourage you to pick out at least 3, if you have them, sherry finished whiskeys, and try to do this yourself. I think it will be really fun to see which one you like more. If you do decide to do anything, even if you have 2 of them, if you do anything, let me know what you're matching up together. It'd be interesting to see. Next one I did is the Kilchoman. Now this is the Machir Bay, and Machir Bay is named after one of the more famous beaches on Islay. And the idea here is that putting a peaty mixed with a sherry, I thought would be interesting. This is much more ex-bourbon barrel finished than it is sherry finished. Maybe it's like 80% and 20%. So it's not a ton. And I thought that would be interesting. But just to give myself a chance to not just be like, oh, it tastes like peat, it must be Machir Bay, I also put the Laphroaig Carchus 2021 edition. I think it was 2021. Which is the Pedro Jimenez. And that one is going to be 58.9% ABV. So I'm going to be feeling pretty good at the end of the night. This one's 46. Okay, so we've got those 2, and then there's one more, which is going to be the Balvenie. This is the double oak, and I did this one because it's both, ex-bourbon barrels, or double wood, sorry. It is, I don't know why I'm reading it. I know what it is. It's ex-bourbon and then ex-sherry barrels. So both of those, it felt like this was a decent range, There's kind of like all different kinds of degrees of each thing. So what we're going to do is, not only am I going to try to guess which one is which by the end, I'm more so just going to kind of put them against each other and rank them the way I think that they'd be fun, what I would like. So that's what we're going to do tonight. I will have some water first because it was 0 degrees here most of the day. And my lips almost never get chapped, just like in my life. But today's a bad day for chapped lips, which is not great to pour like 60% alcohol over chapped lips. But anyway, you poured the Starward pick. Awesome, Mark. That's great. I would like to try that. Okay, yes. Let's see. Good choice, David. Seneg. Yep. I wanted to do the I think that's pronounced Seneg. I just don't have it. But back when I did the Machir Bay, a lot of people told me that was one that I should get and that I would probably love it, and they're probably right. Let's see. I've been here 3 weeks in a row. Oh, I'm sorry, Spencer. My schedule and yours line up better now that you're doing this regularly, as it turns out. Okay, for some reason I thought that you weren't able to make it, but my mistake. All right. Glendronach. Yeah, I do have some Glendronach on hand, but they're all samples, and they're right up there. But they wouldn't be something I'd want to pour in here. Okay, so let's get into our first one. Again, let me know in the chat what you guys are drinking along with me. Otherwise, you're just watching a dude on the internet drink alcohol, which is fine, but it's more fun to drink together. So if you have nobody else to drink with, I'm your guy. Cheers to you. Okay, this one smells very berry forward. It's see, the problem is I think that all of them are going to remind me of my Starward pick. So although I'm going to try not to focus too much on guessing what they are, I think it's going to be hard not to just assume each one is my pick. There is some, so I don't know which color this is. Let's see. That one's the dark green again. Yep. All right. Okay, the more I nose this, it's leveling out a little bit as far as the fruity berry note, and it's getting kind of a deeper, almost making me think. Here's the problem. I haven't had most of these in a while either, so I kind of don't remember what things like the double would smell like. But what I'm thinking here is that, you know what I want to do? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting my own thought. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this on full webcam because I think it might be a lot more fun. Just promise me you guys won't spoil the fun. I'm going to put this on full webcam for a sec and show you all. Hopefully, there we go. All right. I think that might be in focus enough. I'm not looking at the screen. That way you can know what the colors are and what they equate to. This is the only time I'm going to show it though. So if you end up being late to the stream, unfortunately, that's just going to be a reality. Okay. Well, as always, you'll have to trust that I didn't look because that would be no fun. Why would I ruin it for myself? Okay. Going back to this. So I was starting to think that this could become the double wood only because underneath the sherry, it does smell kind of heavy, making me think that it's more of an oak, supported thing. But I'm not smelling any sort of peat or smoke here, so making me think it's not, I can eliminate 33% of these. But it does smell higher ABV. It kind of smells like it could be any one of these. Let's have a taste. Cheers. Okay. Well, the good news is, if I remember correctly, I kind of like all of these, which means I'm not going to have like a Johnny Walker Red moment tonight, which is good. Okay. On the taste there, it is it's not crazy. Well, you know what? Okay, story time while I'm doing this. So, you know how I do those advent calendars every year? So I do the Flaviar ones the last couple of years. First off, those Flaviar calendars, like, I love them. If you guys, even if I'm not doing an affiliate thing, like, consider getting those. Because even though it might not be like the best whiskey out there, it's really fun to try to guess. So I was up in New Hampshire this last weekend, and I was up there with a friend named Dan. And Dan and I, the little test tubes that they give you is plenty for 2 people. And especially for doing like a sample. So I'd pour it for both of us, and we would both sit there and just try to guess, like, first off, what type of whiskey is it? Like Scotch, Irish, rye. And then I think I was pretty much spot on all of the ones I tasted. There was one that was like, I think I guessed it was a bourbon, but it was like a high rye bourbon. So I was like, okay, I think that's that. Or no, I'm sorry. I guess it was a rye, but it was a high rye bourbon. Anyway, so all of those were really cool, and I realized something about myself. I am fantastic about guessing the ABV until it hits about 50%. Like, I think I guessed something I even went against my better judgment, knowing that it was not normal, and I guessed something was like 51.5%, and that's exactly what it was. And I was like, what possessed me not to guess 52? Anyway, so the reason I'm telling this story is that when I smell this and taste it, I'm inclined to think it's higher ABV, but it tastes to me like 46 or so. I think I just have a very high tolerance for high alcohol, high proof alcohol. Let's see. Okay, you guys are just chatting with each other. That's great. All right. If you want to talk to me or tell me something, just try to tag me. It'll show up better. Otherwise, I'm going to focus on what I'm doing. Okay. On the taste of this one, I'm feeling like it doesn't carry, it definitely tastes of sherry, but it doesn't carry a whole lot of flavor. What do I want to say here? Okay, so if you have a really higher alcohol content thing, even though a higher alcohol can carry more flavor, there becomes a point of diminishing returns where you are mostly just tasting alcohol, and that's kind of what I'm getting here. Like, I can very much tell that this is sherry finished, but as I'm drinking it, I'm like, this is pretty high proof. I would guess that this is the Abuna, and just thinking this through, but it's also the first one I've tasted, so we'll see. Now, where I do think I'm going to get thrown off is Laphroaig does tend to not taste quite as smoky as I always assume it will. Like, I always think of Laphroaig 10, but some of their finished stuff, it's like mild peat. So, we'll see. Ooh, this one has a very specific nose to it. It smells like caramel, which makes me think it's going to be either the Machir Bay. This one is, let's see. Oh, wait. Oh, this one's blue. It looks green. So that one's blue. This one strikes me as either the Machir Bay or the Doublewood, because it seems very heavy on the oak. Like, the smell is almost exclusively caramel. I don't know. Let's try a sip. All right. Audience participation question. Ooh, I want to do it too. Making cherry jello right now. Anyone ever tried Calumet 15 jello shots? I have not. I don't think I've had, college story. So one of the rooms in my dorm, they went out and they bought a few tarps, and then they kind of asked everybody on the floor to borrow their refrigerators. And I know at least us, we had like maybe six different, I want to say they were ice cube trays. They were some sort of like a shallow bin full of red jello. And it was like everybody on our floor. And they took one of the rooms and they laid a tarp down, and it went up the sides of the walls, probably about a foot or so. And then they got a few of the girls to come and do jello wrestling, which, as I believe I was sophomore at that point, that was a lovely time. But the funny thing was that out the door of that dorm room, it was stained red, like as if people were walking out of there with just red dye all over them for like the whole rest of the, like, they were not able to clean the carpet. I actually remember that the people that had that room got in trouble for that, had to pay for, partial carpet cleaning or whatever. That was a good time, man. College, good time. Okay, so I am very inclined to call this one the Machir Bay. There is a bit of a smoky flavor to it, but it's very heavy oak. So just for the heck of it, I'm gonna write this down. So green, I'm going A, B, so for Abuna. Blue is Machir Bay, Kilchoman Machir Bay. All right, let's see what our next one is. So next week, actually, let's talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm releasing a short that I'm very happy with, and I've wanted to make for a lot of years. I actually have had this thing written, and I was planning on making it as a full video, but I think it fits the short format. I forget exactly what I called it, but the context is basically like whiskey descriptors that piss me off. And so, as you would imagine doing what I do, I see quite a few reviews out there, and I see a lot of like labels and whatever else, and there's a lot of really pompous tasting notes out there. And yes, people want to be creative, or perhaps they just want to sound like they're being fancy, but there's some good ones out there. I won't spoil tomorrow's video because it is in fact a short. It's like a minute, so it's gonna be a good one. I hope you guys all take time to watch it. All right, this one is gonna be red. All right, so red. Now I'm already in trouble because this one smells pretty like caramel flavor. None of these are, just the first one's really smelling like sherry. Whatever is going on with this is really hiding the sherry, unfortunately. I think I'm going to switch these windows around so I can actually see your chat without staring off to the side. I think that's a good way to go. All right, let's do that. Cool. I actually think I can... Yeah, I think I can do this too. Let's... Oh, no. I could have sworn that I installed a mod that lets me... drag people over here. Hold on. I want to do this because this was super cool. No, it's not going to work. I had installed a mod that let me, you know how like with StreamYard, when everybody does StreamYard and they click on the comments, it shows up on the video. I installed a thing that let me do that, and I can't figure out how to do it anymore. Oh, well. Okay. On the... Oh, this is weird. I'm leaning towards the double wood. And the reason for that is, again, it's not that heavy on the sherry. So the Balvenie, the double wood is one I remember being a little disappointed in because I bought it specifically for the sherry finish and the fact that I hadn't covered the Balvenie on the channel before. But in the case of this one, this is like a boring whiskey, I would say. The red. Yeah, but it has a bit of a bite to it that's making me think it's an Islay. But I don't know. I'm not sure. This one's tough. It's the finish is a little bit better than what I initially thought, but it just doesn't taste anything like sherry, and that's a little disappointing. I absolutely love the Laphroaig Carchus PX Sherry Cask, which, if this is it, maybe it hasn't aged very well in the bottle. Nice. So Steve is drinking at home, and he likes them from start to finish, the same order that he's been doing them. All right. So with the red, even though I'm not confident, in fact I'm the opposite of confident, I'm gonna guess this one's the Laphroaig. Laphroaig PX. But I hope not, because I don't love this as much as I remember loving it. So Dustin is doing 2 sherried whiskeys, Boona 21 cask strength, and a 26-year-old Glendronach. Okay, well, you win. It's been a little while since I've had just like a really old whiskey. Ooh, okay, this one smells good. Okay, so this one is going to be, this is the color purple. So whatever that ended up being. On the nose, again, not a lot of sherry influence. I feel like I should have picked different whiskeys. Definitely some smoke in there. I'm wondering if maybe this one's the Laphroaig, but we'll see. Cheers. I'm pretty confident that one's the Laphroaig. It's got that ashy taste to it, like a cigar ash. It really is funny how that is the flavor. Like, just burning peat makes something taste like a ashen cigarette. Okay, purple, lat purple is going to be Laphroaig PX. I'm not sure what the red is now, but I would guess it's going to be the Balvenie, but I don't really know. We'll have to see. So if you're drinking at home, again, let me know what you're drinking. But I wish I had a better way than drinking water to cleanse my palate quicker. The problem is that live streaming is not a realistic scenario to be drinking whiskey, and for what we're trying to do here. This is more about just doing it, and making sure I can fit it within an hour. Okay, so here's a question for you guys, only because the last couple of these haven't been quite what I was hoping for. What do you consider like the best sherried scotch for you personally? If you had to pick a sherried scotch, what are you buying? And don't be like, oh, well, I've never had this, but like make it something that you love, that you would buy again. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Alex. Like I love the Laphroaig PX, and that one stuck out to me immediately. I'm guessing that's what that is. Either way, I like it. It's very good. It's disappointing you didn't get a case. All right, so this one's going to be the light green. So let's see. Light green. which means the last one is going to be orange. Cool. So light green. Let's see what this is. Trick question. Skip scotch and get a higher end Cavalon sherried single cask. Oh, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Around 12 years, Punab 12, Glenallachie 12 are the best by a country mile. I would agree with you there. Re-randomize and trying again. Was either rather surprised by the result. Okay, interesting. Independent bottlers. Now that's a good point. Who would you, anything in particular? Why do they all taste smoky? Did I just like destroy my palate maybe? I don't think so though. That one definitely tastes smoky, or it's like that one's more like a maritime than a smoke. Maybe that's the Kilchoman. Some of the Edredors, yeah. I'm gonna switch that one to the Kilchoman. Which means I'm gonna have to try the blue again. I really should have just drank through these all the first time and then seen what I think. All right, let's go for the very last one. So, I don't know. Let's see. It's like cherry cough syrup, but in a good way, like Luden's cough drops, maybe. This one orange. So, it smells really good. This is what I was hoping to smell. It's like really fruity. All right, cheers. That one tastes pretty high ABV too. It smells like my Starward, but I'm not sure that it tastes like it. But it's 55.3, so it could be that. Huh. I don't know. This one's good though. After the stream, sometimes I'll dump whiskeys, just because I'll often have like 10 of them. But this wouldn't be one that I would dump. Actually, I don't think I would dump any of these. Really try not to, but sometimes there's like a lot of whiskey. Oftentimes I'll pour them all into one and just make an amalgamation, but okay. I like that one a lot, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Huh. I'm gonna guess that one is my Starward. All right. So I'm gonna rip this off, and I'm gonna keep my notes from each time I go through. I think it'd be fun to see how I progress. All right, so my first time around, and just because even though I said I wouldn't, I'm gonna do it one more time. I think I'm trying to look at it backwards, so it's all right. There we go. I'm gonna do it one more time just to show you guys what I am drinking and what the colors are. There you go. All right, I think that'll be in focus shortly. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully you've seen it enough. Okay, so you saw what they were and what the colors were, and my very first guesses were that the green was the Abuna. The blue, I had it as Kilchoman Macquarie Bay, but I later changed my mind. I didn't know what the red was. I guessed the purple was Laphroaig PX, light green was Kilchoman, and then orange was Starward. So we'll see what I do here. Okay, this is fun. Next week's live stream is going to be Wheel of Doom. So if you are enjoying those, that's what we're going to be doing. I know a lot of you will, especially Steve, pick out a number of whiskeys and then have me choose numbers. So that's fun. I'm happy to do that for you guys. All right, so let's write down our colors again. Blue, purple, or red, purple, light purple, light green, and orange. All right, cool. All right, let's see. Top shelf. Just a thought, don't try and guess, just rank by... Yeah, actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do this round, but you're totally right. That first round, I think if I do this again, which I think I'm planning on it, I will not try to guess that first time around. I'll just rank them, and then I'll try to dial it in. Yeah, Wheel of Doom is always fun. Oh, yeah, that's fair, Steve. I made a new song for the Wheel of Doom, and I kind of like it. It's very metal. All right, I'm gonna like jumble these up a bit because it really doesn't matter. But I don't want to be influenced. All right, cool. So I don't know where any of them are anymore. All right, so the first one is going to be purple, which I'm going to flip this over so I'm not influenced by what it was. I'm going to do what Justin suggested here. Okay. Okay, a bit smoky, a little ashy, little a nice balance of sweetness with peat. This one's tasty. I like that one. I think it's probably gonna be middle of the road though, at least as far as what I'm trying to get tonight. Although I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I rate them in terms of the theme of the night or just my personal preference? What do you think? You're kind of dead inside if you don't like Wheel of Doom. All right, this one's light green. Oh, that smells really good. It's very salty, very, very seashore. That just smells really good. I like that. Do both. All right, in order of my own personal preference, I think that makes the most sense. Okay, tasting this, it's kind of one tone. It tastes like salt water with some whiskey in it. Okay. Well, top shelf. It's if you're gonna oh, geez, I'm on the wrong camera. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. If you're gonna suggest both things, then I have to just eliminate your suggestions. All right. This one's tasty. I think. I like this one slightly less than the first one, only because, I think it doesn't have as much complexity to it. I'm a guy who likes a lot of flavor. So if you have a lot of things I can discover in your whiskey, that's usually going to go better with me. All right. Now this one smells like candy. This is the orange. It smells orange. That's funny, actually. Not on purpose, but it smells almost like an orange creamsicle. Yeah, actually, I think I nailed that. I think it smells like an orange creamsicle. I will say, if this one ends up being the Starward, I'm going to go change the notes on Whiskey Dick Pics, because I think orange creamsicle is not something I've smelled in this before. All right, cheers. I hear you, Dustin. I went really weird with this one. I completely agree. I think it's hard to even justify these against each other. But I will say, right now, I like this one the most by a lot. Both in profile, like theme of the night, and just personal taste. Very, very, very good. Oh, my watch is telling me it's time to stream. All right. That one smells good too, but... Okay. Again, kind of sweet, candy-like. It's... The more I do this, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that the nose is going to have more receptors than the tongue, right? Like, it's just, you experience it better through the nose typically. But the more I do this, the more obvious that is. It's kind of interesting. It's almost like I would rather just smell it than necessarily even drink it. Except for all those fun things that happen when you drink whiskey. I think right now this one would probably be my least favorite. There's a little bit of an off-putting flavor in the finish that... It reminds me... What does that remind me of? Sorry, I've hit the microphone like 700 times tonight. I'm not sure what that is. It's kind of like a caramel flavor, but not a great one. So I would say right now the red is by far my least favorite. All right, so let's see. 2 more to go. So as we were kind of talking through this, I've decided I'm going to rank these as I've been ranking them, and I'm doing it based off of preference. At the end, I'm going to kind of take these, and I'm going to write numbers next to them. And I think it would be fun at the end to just be like, oh, I liked this one this much, and I thought it was this, but it's actually this. So we'll figure it out. Ooh, this one's a little higher ABV. I shouldn't have inhaled quite so deep. Sorry, I'm just thinking. That one's ABV is really high. It's almost distractingly high. But when it does fade, it does taste like a nice sherried scotch. Oh, this one's tougher. It's almost in line with whatever the light green one was. I think if I had to, I think I would put it above the light green, but below the purple. So I think we're going to do that. All right. So let me know in the chat, what is the most recent bottle of whiskey that you bought? And was it something that you've held out for, or was it an impulse buy? Also, totally off topic, don't forget to join the Discord. There's a link to it down in the description of the video. It's very easy. Then you get to chat with all of us. So for me tonight, the Whiskey Maker's Cut 1. Whiskey Maker's Cut. I'm unfamiliar with that one, Steve. What is that like? I'm totally unfamiliar with that. All right, multiple shops in my area. All right, let's see. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. I saw them at 135.4 proof and grabbed a bunch. You're funny, Alex. I like that you joined the Discord. It's been nice getting to know you. You're a pretty fun guy. Glenroth. Oh, okay. Okay. Huh. Glenrothus. Man, when I was doing that video a couple of weeks ago about like Scotch whiskey history, like obviously there's a ton of distilleries in Scotland. It's insane. It's like actually it's hard to know them all. I think there were 51 in Speyside alone. Absolutely crazy. I think it was about 140 something or 150. I think it was 151 distilleries total. Let's see. Honestly, Bushmills Original was the most recent purchase. I make my own Irish cream. All right. Well, David, I'm not going to ask you to type all of that out, but I'm very curious how you make Irish cream. Springbank 10 this weekend. I ran out of like old black whatever. All right. Oh, I see. Okay. You just threw the word like in there. It totally threw me off. All right. So Springbank 10, of course. I'm shocked, Dustin. I'm shocked that you bought a Springbank. New Riff Winter Whiskey. Okay. Been looking for like 3 years and it magically appeared on a shelf locally. I have not seen New Riff in my area in a very long time. I want to say I have had two of their bottles. I think I had a rye and a bourbon. It must have, I think it was like their very first whiskey. I did it years ago. Always liked their stuff. They almost were my very first single barrel pick. I was already like talking to them and everything, and then somehow they just like dropped off, or maybe I did. I don't remember. Maybe the price wasn't there. I don't remember. New Riff's going to be in all 50 states. That's cool. Four Roses LE in transit. Okay. All right. So back to this. This one tastes a little boring to me. This is the blue. Yeah, it's a little bit just like whiskey water. It doesn't taste like maritime, which, if I'm remembering correctly, I originally thought it was the Machir Bay. I mostly remembered because the Kilchoman blue label here. But despite all that, it doesn't taste the way that I thought it did originally. Where would I rate this? I think I would still put it above the bottom one. Okay, so my number 1 was the orange. So that's number 1. Number 2 is purple. Number 3 is green. Number 4 is light green. Number 5 is blue, which leaves number 6 for red. Okay, what time is it? 8:40. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of that. This will be interesting. All right, so if I was right in my initial estimate of what I thought things were, my favorite so far is the Starward, which that's not a huge surprise if that ends up being true. My second favorite was the Laphroaig PX Sherry Cask, which that would be cool. My third favorite would be the Abuna, which also wouldn't be surprising. The fourth was Kilchoman. That actually is surprising because I remember kind of just being warm on the Machir Bay. Number 5 would be, I also thought that was the Kilchoman. So my guess is that Kilchoman is probably either number 4 or number 5. All right, and then the red is the one I didn't know, which Glenallachie is the only one I haven't guessed here, which makes me wonder what the hell does Glenallachie taste like, because it's one I've suggested a lot, and if it's not sticking out to me as something that people need to have, I'm almost wondering if I'm steering them wrong. How old is that Kilchoman? Yeah, it's a little old. Seems they use more active sherry these days. Yeah, I definitely have had this for a while. It's still pretty full. So, I mean, let's see, it's 90% bourbon, 10% sherry. So I didn't expect this one to have a whole lot of sherry influence, but that was also part of the experiment. I thought it was 80-20, but whatever. Trying to hold off buying for another 2 weeks at least, then I will go out to buy myself a birthday bottle. Oh, well, happy birthday in advance, Mark. What are you hoping to buy for a birthday bottle? Is there something that you have in mind? Because that would be an interesting thing to know. All right. Don't beat yourself up. The Glenallachie handily puts things like Tamdhu and McKellen to shame. Yeah, man. That McKellen that I put out on Sunday. So a little peek behind the curtain here, because I like to do that on live streams. It's fun to just talk about like what I do here, right? So I filmed 3 episodes the day that I did the McKellen. The McKellen was the first one. And then I did... I think those of you that are patrons have seen what I have coming up until the end of January anyway. So whatever you hear on the live stream, you're going to learn a little something. So I did the Glenlivet, this guy right here, the orange guy, the Glenlivet Caribbean Reserve. That is going to be, I think, this weekend's video. And then after that, I don't know where the bottle went. Oh, it's back here. I did the Whistle Pig piggyback because it came with this, which is awesome. I think the bottle itself was only like $40, and it came with that, which I'm going to use that little piggy spout forever. So I'm very happy about that. But anyway, so those are going to be my review videos for the next couple of weeks. But the whole reason I was getting at that is the McKellen 12. Boy, what a letdown, right? It's not even the price. It's like just kind of boring, but I can absolutely see why before everybody just kind of got into whiskey and they suddenly started having to produce things with way more kinds of flavors. I can see why people liked McKellen. 'Cause it tastes like a scotch, you know? Like when I think about, I don't know, let's say like Four Roses single barrel, like that tastes to me like a bourbon. Or let's even go like something more obvious. Woodford Reserve. If I drink a Woodford Reserve, I'm like, this tastes like a bourbon. If I drink a McKellen, I'm like, this tastes like a scotch. Same thing with I don't want to say Jameson because I feel like that's more of an impression thing. But Tullamore Dew absolutely tastes like an Irish whiskey. I'd be curious. You know what? Let's have a little fun with this. Let's be as cliche or stereotypical as we possibly can. If you think of the word bourbon, what is the whiskey that you think tastes the most like a bourbon? I think this will be fun to do. And then I'm going to kind of go through these one more quick time. I agree with you, Jason. I do think it used to be a much better product, the Macallan. Macallan 18 was one of the first like fancy whiskeys I ever had, and I remember just being like, holy crap, this is amazing. All right, so we got some stuff coming in here. So Buffalo Trace as a bourbon, for me personally, I don't see it as that. Like I taste regular old, like the regular Buffalo Trace, and to me that tastes like a very watered down bourbon, like almost like a cheap bourbon. In the same way that if you were like Old Granddad is a bourbon, like yeah, it kind of tastes like a bourbon, but it's a little cheap. Let's see. Elijah Craig small batch, that's a good guess. Let's see. Macallan was special win like 1984. Maybe Four Roses. Yep. Wild Turkey's another good one. Give me just 1 second. I'm about to cough and I don't want to blow your ears out. All right. Sorry about that. Cool. All right. Let's go for the next one. Just went away with the family for the weekend. And of course, one of the kids was sick. So now I'm sick. Yay. Okay. So now we're going to be, this is the orange again. All right. Hold on. I gotta mix these up. The good news is I'm starting to learn what some of these are, which is kind of the purpose of this. Like whenever Matt does Matt Madness, I feel bad that I didn't perform better that first time, and I've almost been on like a private mission to get better. So if I'm ever on Matt Madness again, I'll do a lot better. Would you believe that out of everything I picked the orange again? I would. All right, I love that orange. I've got to hope that that is my Starward. If not, I know exactly what I'm going to be buying more of. Let's pick another one. Yeah. You know what I think is the problem with the red is it doesn't taste anything like sherry. And so compared to a bunch of other stuff that does taste at least somewhat like sherry, it's off-putting. Like it's totally off profile. So I wonder how the red would hold up if I were doing some other category. But okay. This one's the green. That's pretty tasty. That's got a nice little bite to it. That's sweet, but also like full body, flavorful. It's got a little bit of a briny flavor to it. Very, very good. I think that's the red. Okay, so this one right here. Nah. I'm not sure. This one's the blue? Yeah, I really don't know. I'm re-ranking these again. Once again in order of preference. Actually, no. I should do this in order of what do you call it? Like theme. First one tastes very fruity. The green. I don't know. Not really that fruity. More of a. I think it's okay. That's probably gonna be like number 4. Red we already know is not. Blue I just had, and that was more of like a watery. That might be number 5. All right, let's have a little water. Okay. This one, the purple. I wouldn't say that this screams sherry to me, but it's definitely there. And it's the whiskey itself is pretty good. So I'm gonna probably put that one at either number 3 or number 2. Not sure I love this one. All right, here we go. I'm changing a couple things up here. That one's the blue. Okay, cool. All right, so this time I'm gonna do this one more time. My number 1 is gonna be orange. Again. Purple is number 2. Green is number 3. excuse me, light green is number 4. Light green is number 4. Blue is number 5. And red, of course, is number 6. Cool. If only you could see how terrible my handwriting is writing so fast on a stream. Excellent. All right, so we've got 10 minutes left, which is kind of perfect. So I'm going to go through each one of these. We're going to talk about how they rated. All right. So it's time to reveal to both myself and to those of you that couldn't make it out in the thing, what is what. And then we're going to actually, you know what? Here, let's do this. So there was orange got number 1 consistently. Purple got number 2 consistently. Green got number 3 consistently. Wow, that's funny. Light green, number 4. Blue got number 5 and red got wow. So doing it 2 different ways, I still came up with the exact same rating. So my order of preference and how much I thought that they represented the theme. That's insane. I would have thought for sure one of them would be different. Okay, well, I think that's pretty clear. So let's see what we did. All right, so let's start off with number 1, orange. So orange is the Starward. Big surprise. If you guys need more convincing to just pick up a Starward, if you haven't already, like just go do it. I've dropped the price as much as it possibly can. WhiskeyDickPicks.com. There's a link down in the description. Just go buy yourself one. Promise you will love it. Purple is Laphroaig. Awesome. Okay. So I had guessed that orange was Starward. I had guessed that purple was Laphroaig. So awesome. Green is... Okay, my wife wrote... I wrote dark green. The green is Abuna, which I guessed was Abuna. And green was my 3rd favorite. That's cool. I like that. Oh, that's really cool. Because if I had to actually list these in the order of the way I thought that they would come, this is exactly what I would have done so far. All right, so number 4 was light green, which was Kilchoman. Okay. I had guessed light green to be Kilchoman after I changed my mind from it being blue. That's really cool. Holy crap, I'm like killing it. Okay, so then number 5 was blue, which is the Balvenie. I guessed it was the Kilchoman Machir at first, but I hadn't actually guessed anything else to be the Balvenie. Okay, so that was my number 5, which means that Glenallachie is red. I didn't like Glenallachie? Holy crap, really? Yeah. Okay. This is enlightening. Okay, so if I'm going to be suggesting Glenallachie to people, I should really be... Well, what better represents sherry up here, though? Like, Kilchoman was better, in my mind, in a blind... This is really interesting. I like this a lot. This is really interesting. So, Glenallachie has been one that I have told people to buy because they would like it. And I've had people tell me that they really liked it after they bought it. But in comparison to the rest of this, it was my least favorite, almost to the point of being off-putting. Like, when I saw it was red, I was like, I don't want to even have it. That's so interesting. I'm going to have to change my mind. I mean, this is empirical evidence that I don't like Glenallachie 12 as much as I thought I did. Maybe I've either just grown past it, or maybe the PX sherry, the Laphroaig, or the Machir was just kind of changing my taste buds. That's really interesting. I'm going to have to think about that a bit. I like that. That's... Sorry, I'm like going on and on about it. I think that's really cool. Okay. Well, I think that's about it, actually. I don't want to like just keep pushing this, but this is really cool. What was so let's do this. So, of the 6 that I did tonight, which we have here, we have the Laphroaig Carchis 2021, let's call it, the Balvenie 12 Double Wood, my Starward pick, if you've had it, the Kilchoman Machir, the Aberlour Abuna, and the Glenallachie 12. Which one of these 6 would you have guessed was your favorite? Obviously, you didn't have the same ones in front of you as I did, most likely. But if you did, Which one do you think would have been your favorite? That's an interesting little thought experiment. There's a taste bud issue. Reason 4 Roses always sucks blind, but I love it by itself. It's definitely, like, I can tell that I'm pretty dull with the taste buds at this point. But that first round, I guessed almost everything correct. I guessed 4 out of 6 of them correct. And the 2 that I guessed wrong, one of them I didn't guess at all, and the other one was the other one. Laphroaig, and it wouldn't be a debate. Yeah, I mean, the fact that got my second favorite, clearly I picked the Starward because I really like it. So, although I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that upon first sip, I did not know that it was the Starward. It could have very well have been the Glenallachie. I kind of figured it out over time because it's something I've had quite a bit. Let's see. Either a Buna or the Starward. Okay. Carchis or the Kilchoman. Okay. Laphroaig, and it wouldn't be a debate. Yep. I enjoyed the bottle. I had enough to want to try other age statements of theirs, not to run out and buy a 12 though. Tonight I'm in a sherry mood, so Carchis for sure. Frog. Yep. Now the Starward kills GA12. Totally agree there. Yeah, I love when you guys like my picks. That makes me really happy. I don't know. That's like a special kind of happiness I don't think I'll really get too much more of in my life, is you guys loving my picks. Like that 3-chord pick was absolutely fantastic. The Starward pick is absolutely fantastic. The Stellum one I really like, but I get that's not going to be for everybody. That one was more of an experiment, and luckily it was not terribly expensive for me to buy it, which is why it's the lowest price one that I have. But it's still worth having, and I think it makes a pretty good cocktail. Anyway, all right, so let's see. I need to get another pour of the Starward tomorrow on a fresh palate and see what I think. Maybe get a backup. 3-chord is still the best 4-year-old bourbon I've had. Yeah, right? Like, 3-chord really did a very good job, which is so weird because it's just another celebrity whiskey, but they just happen to really nail it. I didn't even like the GA15. GA has not done anything for me. That's interesting. I might have to get the 15 and see what I think. Okay, well, anyway, thank you all for joining me here on the Whiskey Dictionary. I'm going to play my little outro music because it makes me happy. And we'll clean up from the night, and I'm probably going to drink all of these because why not? Oh, you know what? Screw it. You guys deserve this. You guys deserve this. I'm going to mix them all together and see what we think. Theoretically, it should... Oh, there's going to be too much. Oh, no. Oh, that's really full. Oh, boy. All right. So here's what we're going to do. It's really, really full. Oh, boy, I'm spilling. Okay. So both of those are almost completely full. So just because this will ruin my table, give me a second. I keep paper towels down here because I spill so much. All right, here we go. So I'm going to attempt to drink from both of these at the same time. That way I can get every bit of everything. And let's see what we think. All right. Smells like peat. Smells like peat in the ocean. All right. You know what? Yeah, let's hop on an after hour. So anybody who's interested, let's go into Discord and we'll hang out for like 15, 20 minutes, half hour or so. I've got stuff to do, but I'm happy to hang out for a bit and we can chat. So if you don't belong to the Discord, then go join and then meet me in the chat there. So let's have this one. All right. Cheers. Nope, that's not a good idea. Bah. Ugh. Okay. The PX, the Laphroaig definitely takes over, but all the rest of the flavors don't make it better. All right, here comes the outro. Have a great rest of your night. Cheers.
Bill the Whiskey Dick sang a tune so stout. Live stream ended, we're out and about. Whiskey bottles empty, cheer and shout. He drank it all, no room for doubt. Raising glasses high, we toast the night. Golden liquid dancing in the light. Bill the hero of our boozy plight. He drank for us and won the fight.
In the pub where laughter roams so free, we gather round and sing in harmony. Whiskey flowed like an endless sea, build a whiskey dick our history. Oh, the tales he told and stories spun, every sip a battle, every shot a ton. In his eyes the spark of moon and sun, build a fearless his night begun. Raising glasses high we toast the night, golden liquid dancing in the light. Build a hero of our boozy plight, he drank for us and won the fight. So here's to build the legend of the hour, who faced the whiskey wielding all its power. In his name our voices louder tower, build a whiskey dick our finest flow. Raising glasses high, we toast the night, golden liquid dancing in the light. Build a hero